Pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let the record show everybody's present, and we do have a quorum. Would you please join me in prayer? God, please look down upon us and give us guidance on the business of the town we're doing today. Please bless our community. I ask you all this in your name. Amen. Kind of a motion to approve the agenda.
Move we approve the agenda.
Been moved by Councilman Stedler to approve the agenda. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilwoman Harkey. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion passed all in the affirmative. Communications from citizens, Mr. Ankeny, you're on.
Apologize in advance, my voice is kind of gone. So this is actually more of a letter than anything else, but I'll read it to get it into the record. And my name is Ronald Ankeny, and I'm the spokesman for the Initiative for Accountability in Shoshoni Government. Our goal is to help in the creation of an ethical, effective, and accountable local government worthy of the public's trust. An effective and responsive government is, by definition, accountable to the people it serves. However, for a government to be accountable, it needs engaged citizens who leverage their roles as constituents to push for reforms that matter to them. Accountable government means political power is neither corrupted nor abused, and if a public official intentionally breaks the public trust, they are held to account. Our organization is very concerned about the unusually large number of executive sessions that have been held during the past 4 years. In particular, from January 14th, 2020 to January 9th, 2024, there have been approximately 20 executive sessions held to discuss real estate. Wyoming statute 16-4-405A7 reads, quote, "A governing body of an agency may hold executive sessions not open to the public to consider the selection of a site or the purchase of real estate when the publicity regarding the consideration would cause a likelihood of an increase in price." End quote. We recognize the council has acquired property, but it's highly unlikely that all 20 executive sessions fulfill the legal requirements. On March 2nd, 2021, a workshop was held for the governing body to review various training materials provided by the Wyoming Association of Municipalities. All council members and Mayor Harry Smith were present. As the minutes of that meeting clearly show, the legal requirements for executive sessions were addressed. In spite of the training, there have been 11 questionable executive sessions held for real estate from April 12th, 2022 to the present time. We are asking each of you to consider the following questions. When you consider buying real estate, was there really a likelihood of the price going up if discussed in open session? Have you discussed purchase prices, considered offers, or made counter offers in an executive session after the seller knew you wanted to purchase their property? Have you discussed land sales, real estate trades, or giving real estate to another party or governmental entity while in an executive session? The list is by no means exhaustive. We offer the following suggestions. If you're in doubt about the legality of an executive session, ask before leaving the council chamber. If you find yourself in the midst of an illegal executive session, get up and leave. If you choose to remain, please make your objections to the session known by taking the appropriate action as prescribed by law. In addition to executive sessions, we are also concerned about illegally held council meetings. In a council meeting held on February 11th, 2020, Steve Holmquist discussed the legality of a meeting where 3 council members met with a third party to discuss town business. Town attorney at that time, Perry Marple, explained the meeting was legal because no decision was made. Mr. Marple's explanation of the Public Meetings Act was incomplete, inaccurate, and somewhat disingenuous. On February 25th, 2020, Jake Stetler was sworn into office to fill a vacated council seat. An illegal meeting of the council was held the previous week. The decision to appoint Mr. Stetler was made during that illegal meeting. He unlawfully held that position for 11 months. By law, his appointment was null and void. This act could have had serious ramifications for the council. Video from the previously mentioned March 2nd, 2021 work session shows that attempts to resolve these issues were futile. In short, nothing changed. We are asking the governing body to take a fresh look at an ongoing problem. Our suggestion is for you to consider following the example set by the city of Gillette when they were faced with a similar situation in 2022. The Gillette City Council developed a plan of action to identify violations, developed a plan of action to correct and prevent future violations, and they made all information known to the public. A violation of the Public Meetings Act is serious business with the potential for costly legal fees and civil penalties. Quotes from the Wyoming Association of Municipalities Handbook include, all actions taken during a meeting in violation of the act are considered null and void. Public officers found in violation of the act are guilty of a misdemeanor and can be assessed fines up to $750. Other statutes include criminal penalties that may apply to open meetings violations. Municipal staff and elected officials should be ever mindful that municipal business is public business and the public has the right to know how its servants are conducting its business. We respectfully request you address our organization's concerns in a timely fashion. We're asking that you inform us of how you will be addressing this issue by the next council meeting. Thank you for your time and consideration.
I appreciate you bringing that to our attention, Ron. I believe every one of us here are aware of how we handle executive sessions. We are almost all of our executive sessions have been in with council, and we have discussed several occasions. Are we staying within our guidelines, or if this is in our guidelines? And we with council's advice, we take that very serious. Every one of us up here, we take very serious of what we do. And you're making a bunch of assumptions that we're nothing like Gillette. I'm pretty offended by these accusations. I mean, every one of us here are doing our darn best to do the public's work. We are one of the most transparent municipalities that we have. We put everything up online. We have Zoom meetings. You can go look up many things if you want to. This group here is doing an excellent job, and I applaud them, and many of the citizens do also. But we'll surely take what you brought up under advisement and talking around. Anyway, but appreciate you bringing that. That's a different point of view. But in any event, that's personally, that's how I feel about it. But we do take this seriously. We do take executive session seriously, and only go into it when we feel that it's applicable and in the best of the community that we do such a thing. It's not to be not transparent and hide anything from the public, because this group here does not operate that way. Thank you.
Smith, ladies and gentlemen of the board, my name is Freddie Ellis. I am a United States veteran. I've been through 8 years, 3 ships, and 5 deployments. I am part of the VFW over in Riverton, And everything's good over there. I was just wondering what it would take to be a part of some of the opening, special events here, such as Hot August Nights, the tractor pulls. Maybe we could come out and actually raise up the flag, salute it, do the prayer, do the pledge. And then maybe after the event is finished, maybe we can come back and get close, take the flag down and do the taps thing. And what do you guys think? We are actually in the process of trying to get uniforms from the Casper Armory, not only for the special events here, but also for the honor guard services. So for fallen veterans here, and it's a free service, by the way, to anybody who is a veteran. So, but what do you guys think? What do you?
Yeah. Just in case anybody that doesn't know Freddie, he was raised here in Shoshoni.
Yes, sir.
And him and his wife decided to retire and move back.
Yes, sir.
Yes, and bought the Thompson's old house.
Mhm.
And him and his wife, but like I said, veteran, and he's just trying to get more of that recognition. We had a pretty good conversation down at the tractor show in Pole.
Yes, sir.
And I invited him to come and speak. But I just a little bit of background, but he's really trying to get more veteran recognition here in Shoshoni, and I think it's a good thing, and he's just wanting to help in their parades and whatever they can do to bring veteran awareness to our community, and people work together. And we have quite a few veterans within Shoshoni. So,
And also what we could do also for the Veterans Day, we could actually have a podium like this and have somebody come up and speak and say, okay, all the Korean War veterans, please stand up. Have each veteran of each war be present and recognized, which I don't know about you, but it means a heck of a lot to me. It's honor, like, wow. That's great honor.
because it's very, people that's raised their hand and served to protect the rest of us, I'm sure owe that respect and recognition, and it's I think another good community building, a good thing, a good thing. But you have some other people you're working with, and you're trying to develop this.
I'm trying to develop it. The next BFW meeting, I believe it's going to be held on, I think the 3rd or 4th of next month, something like that.
Yeah,
And I can talk to, I have the commander's the phone number. I can give them a call and see how we're doing on the forms and other stuff like that. Now, if we're going to be doing the honor guard thing, we're gonna need, flags, the American flag, the Navy, just all the branch flags, the bugle with that little thing that plays taps.
Pedestals and,
Right, and shares, right,
well, the pedestals for the flag.
right,
Right.
right.
The flag pole
Mhm.
and the flag.
Right. I can come up with a list and let you guys know, what we have and what we need to get. If you guys approve it, then I'll find out, I'll do some more research. And if possible, maybe, some donations from maybe the city council to help out, just for, like you said, the pedestals, because they're, I don't know, $20-$30, through Amazon, but they're just a piece of concrete with a hole in them to hold the flags. That's what they are. But other than that, what do you guys think?
We can probably find someone to make ready.
Right. Right, and if we can get the entire town involved in something like this, can you imagine even the people from Thermopolis and Casper, the veterans, we can bring them all in, even Gillette or Sheridan or wherever, even Denver, if they want to come out for.
Maybe,
Bring more revenue.
Yeah, bring more revenue with.
maybe help develop the Shoshoni Days Parade like we used to have in the past. We used to have
We don't have a parade here anymore, do you?
No, we don't, but I think there's multiple people that would like to help develop that.
Heck, yeah, I would partake in that.
Mhm.
You
We
know?
could, you know, of
I
course.
got enough old junk laying around, I could parade it down Main.
Mhm.
Yeah, I got some junk I
Exactly.
could do the same, yeah.
And on
Well,
top,
that's what a parade is, showing off what you own. and
Yeah.
You make clothes and whatever else.
and on top of that, we could actually have, you know, we could actually have somebody, what do they call those people? You know, that sit in the grand marshal is what it is, you know.
Right,
we could-
yes.
We could actually have somebody who lived here a long time and had been a great, you know, taught me a lot of stuff, like Ron Ankeny here. He taught me a lot of stuff. Maybe he could be a grand marshal
Mhm.
in the parade, one, you know, something like that, so.
No.
I mean,
Your fingers in shop, right?
exactly.
Would you like to come up and speak also and
Not
introduce
yet.
yourself?
Not-
Oh, okay, I mean, there's,
Nope, not yet, we're not ready.
okay, I'm just opening up the floor for that, so.
But that's, yes, sir.
I was there. I'm a veteran. My kids are veteran. Well, they're currently serving.
Mhm.
One's
Well,
been
thank you.
deployed, going on a second deployment. My other son's deployed. Now he's a DI and trains Marines.
Oh, nice.
And my daughter-in-law is Air Force. So
Mhm.
my entire family's military, so I totally support that. And I also co-sponsor the Shoshoni House Summer Nights. So we have a Labor Day event that we do. So
Nice.
I would be happy to get together with you and try and see if we can help out and
Okay.
come up with some things.
Sure, we can do that, and I will call my commander tomorrow and discuss it and tell him the meeting went well, if it's okay with you guys. You know,
Sure.
I'm not gonna do anything to, you know, overstep my boundaries or anything.
Anybody
but-
see a downside or anything?
On the see upsides. I think someone would be reaching out to the individual
Mhm.
groups. There's
Yeah.
certain things the council can do, but whoever's
Well,
doing
correct.
the event,
Right.
there'd be some things like, so that'd be your conversation with.
Mhm.
So like what Chris is saying, there's some things that he does, he would coordinate with him, but there's other things that would be. A little more
Right.
random that.
Yeah, and the same with the tractor. So we talked about that,
Mhm.
yes.
I need to get a hold of the old boy that runs that track, you know, kind of
Mhm.
touch base with him and see what he thinks about that deal, you know. He's the president over that club, right? One of them, there's gotta be a president over that club.
Well, there's several, Ken Cundle for one here in town that's in Shoshone that's involved heavily with it, just for one.
Another place to look at
George Schaefer, yes.
is at our school. They put on
Yes,
Mhm.
an activity on Veterans Day usually.
Okay.
So check the school.
I can work with that.
and I noticed,
The one thing I would
Go ahead.
like, if you don't mind, I'm sorry for interrupting.
no, go ahead.
One thing that I would actually require from somebody here, the city council, is a date and the times for. You know, everything that's going on in the city, whatever the city puts on, like a parade or the tractor pull or. You know, the hot August nights, you know, just every,
The events that's
Yes.
going on in town.
right,
Town
right.
events.
Mhm. But that would, you know, that's a necessity, that's,
Yep.
you know, that way I can tell,
We can develop
Mhm.
some of that, yes.
right, so. But I think that would be the first step, and like I say, I'll call the commander tomorrow and let him know. Find out what's going on with him, and we'll go from there.
You bet. Well, I appreciate you bringing this to the council.
Thank you very much for,
Keep up
Having
the
me
good
up here.
work, yes. We're glad to have you back.
well, thank you. It's
Glad
good to
to
be
have
back.
you
It's
back.
good to be home. Good to be
Yes.
home. Yeah, I went to school with Joel. I mean, he graduated, what, 3 years above me?
Something like that,
but
yeah, 4 or 5 years, yeah.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of
Yeah.
fun. So, but thank you very much.
Uh, Consent agenda. Motion to approve the minutes of May 28th, 2024.
The agenda or?
Oh.
All of
Consent
it?
agenda?
Minutes
Oh,
and
that's what it,
bills?
oh. That's what it's, marked on. Can we prove the minutes of May 28th, 2024?
We
Do it
approve
separately.
the minutes of May 28th, 2024.
And I have a second. Approved by Councilman Step.
One second.
And second by Councilman Harkey. Discussion.
Move we approve the minutes of May 28th.
We've had a motion and a
Oh.
second.
Okay,
We're in discussion.
I'm still.
Any further discussion? None being all in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed the same. Motion passed, approval of the minutes, May 28th, 2024. Approval of the bills, May 29th, 2024 through June 11th, 2024. Can I have a motion to approve?
We approve the bills.
Been moved by Councilman Steller. Can I have a second?
Second.
Been seconded by Councilwoman Harkey. Any further discussion?
I need to abstain on check number 22706. It's made up to me, therefore I won't vote on that one.
Have a check also made out to me, so I'll have to abstain from that one.
So can you amend the motion to strike those two from the bill list and then vote
Yes.
separately, please?
Actually, both of us can abstain and you still have a quorum if they would vote for it. To be 3-0.
Right, but if we vote for it in its entirety, those would be included, but, oh, I see what you're saying.
You're right. If we
Okay.
abstained from vote,
I got you now.
Yeah,
so we're not
That
voting
works.
on it at all.
that works. That is if they vote for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, as they vote. Luckily, we don't have a third one. Then we'd have to do as.
Yeah.
So. With Mayor Highsmith, Councilman Zant abstaining from the vote, it's been. We have a motion to approve. We haven't had a motion,
I
right?
had a motion in a second.
We had a motion second. Any further discussion? We were in discussion. None being, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed with Councilman Zant and Mayor Highsmith abstaining. All in the affirmative. Guess we'll move down to ordinances, fiscal year 2025 budgets, second reading, I believe is where we're at. Would you want to take that, chief, or?
Yeah, I can, the Shoshoni ordinance FY 2025 as previously entered in the record, second reading.
Can I have a motion to approve?
I move that we approve the second reading with making the amendments that were emailed out. I don't know if we gotta read all that.
Do you want to do it that way, or do you want to consider them separately in discussion?
I'd like to discuss them separately.
Okay, I move we amend the budget to include amendment number 1. I can't get my iPad, so I'm doing it on my phone for the business licenses. Adjusting estimates for the business licenses and all that. I can't really read it.
Did you read it, chief?
Memo was the budget amendment number 1 for FY 2025 budget that we passed first reading to increase the business licenses from $20 to $35 yearly.
Thank you. So I move we amend the budget to adjust the business licenses from $20 to $35.
Can I have a second on that amendment?
Amendment.
I'll second it.
Been moved by Councilman Stetler, second by Councilman Harkey, that we move. Address the price of business license as stated.
And adjust the revenue side accordingly.
Yeah,
Does that include renewal price or just the initial price?
That would be the yearly fee, so whether it's the initial or the yearly renewal would be the same as far as what was proposed.
Okay. Just a clarification of that.
what would be the financial impact to the town for that?
$1,125 per year. Increase
Estimating, yeah.
estimated.
It's been how many years since we raised the business license?
As far as I could tell, over 20.
1982, I think.
Been a while. It seems to me that's probably within reason.
I've asked in the past to have all the business licenses brought, are being renewed, brought before council, so we know what's going on and who they are. That hasn't happened.
Melissa's got a list, but with the move, she kind of put that on her back burner, but she does have a list.
Okay,
But no, that's a good point, Bob.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
because I went to her with that. So it's not organized right now, but she's working.
It'll be organized by next year is what you're saying, or this
Yeah,
summer?
yeah. Well, she's getting to the point where she's just about got the library set. So she'll be able to pick up on those things that she hasn't been able to.
you know, I think the easier part for her is she would bring up to us when they are renewed at that month. So if, you know,
Yeah,
instead of having it all at once, all 75, it'd be much easier on her to say, this month we're doing 6, next month we might do 19.
I can talk to her tomorrow. I start them.
Or we change to run to a calendar year, so they all renew at the same time.
We theoretically do, but
Okay,
some people pay in May, some people pay in February, some people, so it's not year to year on the initiation date. So if you get a business license in say November, you're due again in January. Currently, the way it's set up, it's not.
It's not calendar year.
right.
Yeah, it's not like your registration for your vehicles where it goes based on the
Right,
month. It's
that's why I was
It
wondering.
is calendar year.
She does have a master list that
Okay,
I think we can at least get that emailed out.
yeah. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor of the amendment as presented, say aye. Aye. Opposed the same. Motion passed only affirmative. And the other amendment,
I move we amend the budget on amendment number 2 as presented, increasing the church water by $1.
No, the second amendment,
Or-
was the water meter stuff.
Yeah, the water meter stuff where it goes up.
Oh, it's hard for you to read, I'm sorry.
A little, I read it before.
Technology, here you go. I got it for you. Here you go, Jake. There you go.
Oh, with the, you want me to just read the whole thing?
yes,
Okay, the town of Shoshoni budget under consideration, haven't passed first reading estimates, the revenues minus expenditures from the water enterprise fund would be positive $132. This includes a $10,000 depreciation charge for each year. Currently, the depreciation account held in Milestar accounts is $27,547.03, with this $10,000 to be added at the end of fiscal year 24, leaving a balance of $37,547.03. Depreciating funds are intended to be utilized for the replacement of equipment beyond its service life and in need of the upgrade or replacement. Currently, there are 35 locations receiving water connected to the Shoshoni water system, which either not working, partially broken, or need a full replacement. Upgrading the entire town to that radio red meters and all required components is $470,630. Increasing the fee charged for water by $1 base rate unit would result in approximately $4,320 yearly in additional revenue. Current balance of the water reserve account is $142,535.87. Loan funding for water upgrades through traditional bank would result in loan payment yearly of approximately $34,000 per year over 30 years, approximately $54,000 over 15 years. Projection of water revenue versus expenditures and utilization of the reserve funding would be sufficient to cover the loan without any additional funds added to the reserve fund in the majority of the loan terms, leaving the enterprise fund essentially unable to operate without subsidy before the end of the loan terms. Utilization of $25,000 from the depreciation fund to be added to the water fund budget for the use of replacement of all broken, non-working, or outdated manual red readers and installation of pits where needed. Due to the possibility of no workable solution to maintain that adequate reserve fund for the water system, the alternative to fix, replace, and or upgrade older manual red meters is recommended as a depreciation cost to be added to the water expenditure fiscal year 25 budget.
Sort of the short of that, I'll make a stab at it, Chris, like
Yeah.
Walter straighten me out.
Use
If
the
Mike has
depreciation
them
fund
in,
to fix the meters.
yeah, it's the replace. The preferred method would be replace all the meters with new ones, but financially and else, we're still looking at options for funding for that, but we haven't chased anything down as of now. But this would repair or replace what we need to get us by.
So in a nutshell, that full word salad was the background, the financial impact, suggested alternatives, and the recommendation based off of all that information, which is to use the depreciation fund of $25,000 added to the water reserve or added to the water budget, water enterprise fund budget, to replace the manual read meters and bring all meters at least readable and functional. The alternative, the main one that needs to be done is replace everything, which would be $470,000. But while we could do that, I think the challenges and the risk of putting all our eggs in one basket in the next 15 years just for that would be probably not prudent to do. So the alternative is to spend the depreciation fund of $25,000 up to replace the broken meters, unworking meters, and fix and correct. And some of them are in houses, need to come out and be put into pits. So they're accessible and workable. Right now, they're contained in crawl spaces that are not accessible, and various other issues, which we would have to do anyway in the future until we can find a better solution to receive funding to actually pay for the full replacement.
So the cost to replace the 30 roughly water meters is. So those would come with the telemetric communications with those. And you have to buy the stuff or sell the software.
They would be
Would that 25,000 cover all that?
no, that the 25,000 would be in line with the ones we currently have operational in the same system. I can't remember the acronym for it off the top of my head. Maybe Mike can help, but it'd be the same basic system. It would just be getting them all operational and being able to be read to monitor and get an accurate count on our water.
Okay.
So it wouldn't be
You're not
biometric
purchasing
reads
them.
or radio
No.
reads or anything like that. It would
Okay.
still require manual.
Well, I'm
access.
thinking, Mike, would you answer this question for me? How many hours does our town crew spend reading water meters each month? 32. So that's 16 hours. Okay. So I'm looking at the cost of buying the telemetry versus every month using 2 employees lost work, where if you had a telemetry, you could drive around town and do it in 4 hours with 1 person.
So you,
I'm looking at cost, other ways that we spend money on water meters besides just the meter itself.
sure.
5,000 a year.
But that would take 100 years.
Well-
Currently it costs us roughly 5,000 a year based on 16 hours a
That's
month.
about 470,000 total. So,
It would free up our employees to do something else.
I want to get to that point, but I have to find the
So
funding.
that's
So I
what
agree
I'm
with-
looking at, but as justifying buying the water meter software just for those 30 units. So you have the lump sum for your computer Cassell that ties with your Cassell that does the billing,
So you want to,
and then
instead of a manual read, you want the ones that we're gonna replace and that are currently not functioning to be the radio read.
correct.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Now, sorry, I misunderstood what you're saying.
And
so-
so
Okay,
And then after
we
we
can
get
look
the
at the
grant,
cost of
reduce
that.
their price.
yeah, that would be. I mean. That should cover the cost of it. They're not, it's. Not much more to get those versus the ones we have now. It's just the sheer number that we'd have to replace is where that cost comes from. So
Right.
it's not gonna, if we go with that, we'd have 2 different systems we would be running. Some would be manual, but these 35, we could pull.
then as years go by, you say, okay, this year we're gonna set aside this much money for
Sure.
new meters.
And do more with them.
And we'll say, we'll do south side of town first, or we'll do east of the highway, whatever. And look at that way and have it a 5-year project if you needed. Because I know Mike and his crew cannot replace all meters in 1 year.
Oh, yeah, no. that-
Yeah, so I'm looking at long-term buying, 30 meters. I talked to Ferguson in Pinedale. They said between $400 and $500 for the new meter,
Then,
and then 7,000 to 8,000 for the software.
right, and then you got the pits and then you got the other connecting stuff that
Right.
Mike's got the numbers for, but yes.
So you could easily spend
How
30,
much-
50,000.
How much money do we put in our depreciation fund annually?
10,000.
10,000.
Okay, 10,000.
So this initially would get us those up to speed with all of our reads. Or all of our
Our
water
broken
accounts
ones.
having meters.
Yeah.
And these ones would be radio reads and then we'd slowly do that.
That's what I'm looking at is down the road,
Mhm.
instead of buying manual reads, why not go for the,
Sure. I agree. I think Mike does.
well, that would save, 1 employee, 1/4 of a day right now. It did, but, it would save some stuff. Your administration in the office would learn in that program slowly, and it'll be complex for her to go from both systems. But it can be done.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with you. I mean, we can merge two technologies into one. I mean, it's not it's all through Cassell, so it,
So, quick question, Kurt, going back to the,
Please step up.
Okay, sorry. Going back to the price increase of $1, what exactly would that entail? I mean, is that $1 per gallon for every gallon
One-
we use, or is that just
it's
for?
$1 for the base rate per month.
Us? Okay. Okay, I was just kind of curious on that, so, and I know, some other people were too, so. It's nice to know. Thank you very much.
This is in addition to the water going up $2. One. So it's $1 for water, $4 for sewer.
Yeah.
Right.
Just
So I'm gonna make an amendment to this amendment. 1, raise water rates $6, not $1, but to 6. 2, purchase the required equipment to put in the telemetric readers. To replace and meters for those water meters that are broke, not working properly, whatever. And go that way.
So not use the depreciation.
You can use the depreciation money, you can pay this way any way you want, but I've been giving you an additional $5.
That would
That'd
help.
be
quite a bit.
that'd be a
Be a lot.
$10 increase then instead of 5 to overall,
No, it'd be $6 increase for
For
raising
water.
one,
but then 4 for sewer.
right, so it's raising up to, yeah.
And then with the budget amendment was to change the allocation of $25,000 from the depreciation fund into the actual budget. Do you still want that as part of the amendment?
That's fine, I'm just giving you another source of income.
No, that's fine too. I just gotta rework everything, so I just need to know what exactly.
Yeah. That would help pay for it, because we're only. It would only pay, 10,000, we'd only be paying 10,000 a year. Which is about 10, may get 10 units a year or less, but if we do, we raise that. What's this $5 base raises annually, Chris? Kim,
20,000.
20,000?
About 20,000.
Well, if $1 is approximately $4,320.
Okay,
5 of those would be approximately.
over a little over 20. That would get that done a lot faster.
I'm just giving you an option.
I'm not voting for it, so I'm good with it.
Yeah.
But yes, it needs to be done. I
I think I don't think I would support it as of now based on. What the town $10 and like I said, on the one hand, you go to McDonald's or Taco Bell and $10 for a Happy Meal right now, no big deal, but $10 on their water bill, they'll lose that Happy Meal. They'll be awfully upset about that.
So what's your compromise?
I
Because
think,
I'm really willing to listen.
I think I think if the projection was to do something like this, if there was a grant that was out there that said 50-50 or 70-30 or something that said, you guys come up with 200,000. And we've got the other 200 there, more than just, we raise the rates, we make an extra 20,000 for when are we gonna implement the $500,000 change 10 years from now?
So currently, there's not like WWDC and some of the other programs that support water funding and loan programs. Water meters are not something that's included in that. It's kind of like paving the roads. Water meters are kind of on that. So our options are limited, but there's some options that we're looking at that Hudson's done as well as Du Bois, I believe Du Bois, that they learned from WHAM that we're going to see if we can implement here. That's going to take a little bit of time to see what that's going to look like if we can do that here. And that would help us pay for the water meters, not having to do.
Hudson's several hundred, like in the
Yes.
last month or two.
Yeah.
Is that the same thing that we're discussing here?
Similar. We just trying to chase down all the funding sources. I was hoping to get that done before this meeting today, but I was the BIA today.
How
I'll
did
get
they
into
fund
that
it?
later.
We know how Hudson funded theirs.
That's what we're working.
Um,
Trying to make sure there's different. There's funding available because Jackson meets the right demographics and stuff like that, and they're pouring of Jackson. That
Porna.
Shoshoni does not qualify for.
The town of Jackson, not outlying areas.
Yeah, the town of Jackson,
They're poor.
they're poor, if you can, but the town of Shoshoni does not. Now, what's wrong with that? Anyway, I'm trying to sort through some of that stuff, but I'm working on it. Trying to get answers.
I talked to a little guy in Pinedale the other day, and I think it was from the Wyoming Rural Water Development Program.
Okay,
And they mentioned this source called AWWA, Association of Water Works, or American Water Works Association, that sometimes give grants. They were talking about applying. The last thing I could find about grants from that was in 2015. I could not find anything for current at this time, but they were giving grants for water meters, this group.
That's kind of the next, I mean, we've had so many grants and stuff we've been working on, but this is a big one we need to get done. So I'm gonna start looking, and I know Joel is,
Right.
and trying to use our local resources and anything else we can come up with to find options for it. And that's kind of what the recommendation was, just to get our broken ones, at least everything operational now, while we work that process to see what we can do before we make a commitment to what the path's gonna be. Because if we are able to obtain a grant or a loan forgiveness or any combination of those two, that would change the metrics. So I guess it would be presumptuous to
Right,
to have a predetermined path where we're gonna go now, but we do know we need to get these ones fixed.
yeah,
My feelings are, don't buy the old type, buy the ones with the
That's,
telemetric readers.
we can definitely do that.
Because to save money in the future, you're spending 16 hours a month on it. You know, that's gonna take a while to pay for itself, but it saves you man hours, they can do something else.
I agree with you.
and it's a step forward.
And I'm fine with doing that. Talking with Mike and Mike and the Department of Water or the Public Works guys, 25,000 would get us, either way we went with it, whether it's radio or it doesn't matter. And would not have to increase anything else rate wise from what we've already planned on. And just using strictly the depreciation funds should get us those 35, and we can do it that way if that's how we want to do it.
And if once next, we're supposed to supposed to have some conversations in the next week or so on these and other options with some people. And there may be, we'll get to a point for matching that we would be required to bring our water rates up to cover, but I can't intelligently, I don't have a number yet. I'm trying to get all the grant money we can, or forgiveness, that's the same thing as a grant, depends who you work, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Trying to working on that, but I don't have answers today. I was hoping to have some more money.
Would it give us more leverage to not raise the rates? Then they say you gotta raise your rates and then raise them at that point. I mean, what would be the better?
Well, I wish I don't have enough.
As a guess, I mean, it seems like not raising them that higher, and then if they say you got to, they'll say, okay, well, we'll do it.
We can, Landers just did that. There is, if they have they knew what they were looking at, so they had to raise their rates, then they moved forward on it. If they weren't raising the rates so much
But I mean,
every year, they wouldn't have got the grant. So, but.
And we have been. I mean,
We've been
going up,
doing,
but if
we've
we
been
don't
doing
make
that.
a jump now, but if they tell us we have to, then could
I think we're okay.
That's, I mean, if they
Yeah,
have.
I think we're all okay where we're sitting right now. But we may, I mean, that's.
So I would say going with what we, in fairness of responsibility with funding and people that have got to pay, what we know is we need 25,000. We know if we raise $1 now. I think that implementing a plan is what's. You're bringing up a good point. Now we're looking forward. Is now the time to do it versus get done where we need to get done with the hopes of improvements. And then I think what Jake is saying as well is as things come along, either a grant or something that says, hey, everybody, this is the direction we're going. We're striving to improve a $500,000 project within perhaps the next year, acclimating to the sticker shock.
I guess from my perspective, it's like anything in life, when we increase rates, we find ways that money is then allocated for things, and then it becomes like, oh, we can't cut rates back. How often do you hear about rates going backwards? My apprehension to this is that I don't feel that we need to do this at this time that significant. I think we started depreciation fund and funded it for this exact reason. I think fulfills the goal of getting all the current meters that are not working, functioning, and we can do it as radio reads and pay for that with the depreciation fund. And then as this year transgresses, looking at what our options are. And then we'll know for a clear picture, if we have to raise them to that much next year, then we have a plan that we can actually say, this is why we're doing it for this purpose, for this reason. But we don't know the answer to that yet. And I would hate to raise it and then we not end up needing it. And I just don't think we need to do it in not 10 years down the road, within next year. I totally agree. But I just think this would satisfy getting all of our meters up and running. And it would also have 35 or so meters that are radio reads, as Councilman Zent. And then doing that, and we can look at next year, how, if we don't have funding, do we need to raise it that much so we can get another 50 that year, another 50 next year?
We may
No,
have
I'm-
more.
I'm
Go ahead.
fine with just the dollar increase, but I'm looking at whatever. Yeah, just drop the $6 raise.
But we may have.
We might have
We
to.
might have a good
Eventually.
answer, we
Yeah.
might have a good answer by the next meeting.
I'd hate to raise it and then them tell us we gotta raise it.
Yeah,
When we, you know. What I'm saying is we raise it up high now and they say, oh, well, we'll give you the money if you raise your rates. We just did that. I don't know if that would.
But at
help,
least, but at least we go to, if someone calls you on the phone, so why are you raising up X amount of dollars? Well, we hope that this is gonna happen
That's
right.
I don't know. the answer to
versus
that
we
yet.
raised it up because this organization
This is
said
how-
this and this leads to a $500,000
Yeah.
upgrade for the
Yeah,
town.
that's exactly. And we may have to answer in 2 weeks. I'm working, I was hoping to get some answers today.
Well, Sherry might have something as far as.
Yeah,
she
Sherry.
knows how it-
Yeah.
how it
Yeah,
went.
yeah, definitely.
And that's why this recommendation was only to bring in $25,000 of the depreciation fund into the actual budget to fund the meter replacements of the one.
Chris and I talked about.
At this time.
Yeah.
What I would say is, this isn't a Band-Aid fix either. I
No,
think that
well,
would be good
not doing it the way
for
that-
public to know. This is an improvement.
Mhm.
We're making the steps, but it's not just patching the road that's already dead.
Right, it's actual upgrades of the newest stuff that we're going to anyway at some point. Instead of just doing the manual reads, so I agree with you, doing it the right way with the radio reads and having two systems, but we're slowly promulgate to all of the meters over time. We can do that.
Yeah, Mike, how hard is it to switch meters out? Maybe that's a,
What?
like if you picked a zone in town, if you said. Pick a spot and you put the brand new meters and we're gonna start on the east side, west side. And you change those meters, so you took a good meter and replaced it with this new radio read meters and took that used meter and put it into a broken meters home. Is that? I guess anywhere?
Comes with some of the sealant stuff that, not all of them, but a lot of them, that if you do that, you can't reseat it. So it's pretty much done. So as far as, replacing that, reusing that to a different place, it'd be better just to replace it just right off.
Be better, so like if it's a Spitfire approach, we got one here, one here, one here, at least we're radio reading.
Mhm.
To start with.
No,
So let me get where we at on our amendments and we are,
I don't even know where the motion was.
so. You withdraw your amendments?
I withdraw my $6 amendment,
Okay,
but I. Put in that we buy the radio reads and the computer software,
okay.
With the 25,000.
yes. That should cover that according to first, and when I talked to.
That's what they told us to.
So. So we need to vote on the amendment.
That's the budget.
So. The amendment as Bob presented it, we've already had discussion.
Second, it. I don't know if it's been second.
No, okay, I need a second then. We got into discussion early
I
then.
don't know if it did or not, but if it didn't, I would. Second.
Okay, second by Councilman Stetler, I think. Any further discussion? None being all in favor of the amendment as Councilman Zent presented, say aye. Aye. Opposed, the same. Motion passed all in the affirmative. Now, we have two amendments to the
Second reading.
second reading, so. Can I have a motion to approve the second reading with the two amendments as read?
So moved.
Been moved by Councilman Steller. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilwoman Hartke. Now, do we have any further discussion on the second reading as amended?
Do we have a place in here for street repair specified using our half-cent tax? Is it a line item is my question.
Yes,
Okay, what, 50, 60,000?
60,000.
Okay. Do we have any bids on that yet? Okay,
That one I haven't been a part of.
that's all I wanted to know.
Yeah.
Well, see, I have a nice yellow clover plant growing in on Oak Street, just on the west side of my house. I've sprayed parts, but it's growing about 2 feet, 3 feet tall. It's nice yellow clover. And that's why we need those streets fixed.
I just figured you were bragging, 'cause you got something to grow.
They-
2 feet taller, right?
What are you growing? Weeds usually grow like it.
It is a good weed.
Yeah.
Some people consider it a nuisance.
I won't bite. I'll stay off that.
Yeah. Any further discussion? None being all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same. Second reading passed as amended. Thank you. Good conversation. We have anything else from citizens, public presentation? Anything I don't know? Building permit, Mela.
Stop.
Stop, AUB, stop. What East Third Street?
Yeah, it's towards the bottom. I received a application from Melissa. I don't have any other narrative or what she's actually trying to build or construct.
According to the map, it's actually going off of the property, across the property line with no setback.
It's right, the house right across from the old library building. To the due north. It'd be the third property in, so.
Okay, I was trying to count which one it is.
Yes.
I mean, that's off the property. Drawing.
And I received it late, so I didn't have a chance to reach out to her and get clarification before the meeting, so I don't have anything else to add.
So is this just like a storage shed
I,
or is it an addition to the house?
it says new
New
addition,
addition, yeah.
but what it is, 14 by 20 is what it says on there. So I don't know if it's I don't know what it is.
Well, that's part of the drawing. I guess the new parts. It's really not across the property line, but that's where it shows it.
Yeah, that's what the drawing shows. Then, and up on the top part, it didn't have any setback from the property line listed, none of that business. I feel like it's personally for me, it's too incomplete to approve. I wouldn't know that it's within the town ordinances to approve it.
I
Just due to lack of
Is it a
information.
shed?
Yeah,
Is it portable?
but no, it says new addition.
I move we table this until we get further information.
There's no foundation specs, they're adding on to something, so it's.
Yeah, don't know.
Second.
Been moved by Councilman Zant, second by Councilman Stecker, that we table this and gather more information about it. Any further discussion? I'll try to look at it or get something, we look at it and have them show where they're gonna put it.
Maybe redo that drawing.
Yeah.
So it's on their property.
Very good.
I mean, I hate to deny it, but we don't know that it's a legal.
We're just tabling, we're not denying it.
Yeah, I hate to put it off, but we don't know that it's within ordinances to pass.
Table it till the next meeting. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same, motion passed. All in favor. Chief, do you have your report ready for us?
Yeah, I know at last council meeting too, but we kind of got off a month, so I did April last now, so now I'm
Okay.
doing May, so now we're back on track with the proper schedule of the reports, so. For May, we, our call volume was down 15% month over month. However, our calls for service from 2023 are still up 30% from the year prior. We did have a lot of, unfortunately, calls regarding fraud, theft, and starting a lot of issues. Obviously, with the economy right now, it's kind of furthering that. So we've had mail fraud. We've had some citizens that were defrauded over the phone. Senior citizens taking advantage of, you text message, and there's lots of spoofing going on. So we've tried to help mitigate that with those as reported and recover some of the money. Obviously, a lot of that stuff's held off out of the country, so it's some of it's we can't get back. But unfortunately, that is becoming more of a problem. And I know there's been some reports in County 10 of it and stuff around that, of different scam calls and stuff that people have been taking advantage of. So hopefully we'll get some information out to try and educate some seniors from not falling victim to those types of scams and being defrauded. K9 continues to be actively deployed. 3 more deployments, or 1 deployment this month. The 2 were on as agency assist calls as well. So it was 3 times it was utilized, but once specifically for us. And then with summer arriving, we're starting to get more raid reports, intoxicated driving, and warrant arrests as people start to travel and more interaction with them. That's pretty much highlights of May. The call volume for 1 month actually decreased for this year for the first time. So we're still up 30% from the previous year at this point in time. So, and then I just, with negativity, and, some people have a problem with every solution, regardless of what it is. And I try to venture on the side of positivity. So I just wanted to read a couple of comments that I do receive from time to time via email from people that we've been in contact with, whether paying a citation or what have you. And just kind of give a little bit of accolades to some of the staff here. One is from a individual who was cited. Their comment was, Mr. Leaf Green was very polite and professional. I couldn't do his job, but I'm grateful that he does. I had a 14.5-hour drive that day and had found out that my friend's 9-year-old son had died. His kindness and determination was greatly appreciated. Officer Badera was great to work with. He was calm, firm, and friendly. He was a great representative of law enforcement. And then this is ones I received this month. And the last one was, Dear Chief Kojai, I just wanted to write and express my sincere admiration for Kathy Soul and all your front office personnel. I recently had a situation with a late ticket payment. This could have negatively impacted my employment. Ms. Soul was polite, efficient, and went above and beyond the call of duty to resolve the stressful situation with true professionalism. I initially was incredibly stressed and even made a comment that was less than positive. She effectively turned a potentially egregious situation into a very positive interaction. I also want to make note that the two other ladies I interacted with were very pleasant and diligent in their roles, which would be Clerk Riley as well as Deputy Clerk Franklin. The only other two females I think we have working here. The officer that initially pulled me over was also very polite and professional, even helpful in lending some time to help me better understand my registration issue. My sincere thanks to the town of Shoshoni. Stellar professionals such as yourselves are hard to find. You have restored my faith in humanity a bit. Sincerely, Angela English. So I just thought that was a little bit of positivity to end the report. That's all I have.
Very good, thank you, and we get a lot of comments. I have as mayor, far more positive than negative. You see the negative up on Facebook and making false accusations and stuff, but get many good comments from around the country and around Fremont County. The professionalism of our police force, and everybody does a good job. Everybody tries to do a good job. So, yeah, very good. Mike, would you give us an update, please?
Mayor, council members. Down at Rock Park, we did some investigating on the restroom. And it's hooked up to a septic tank and a leach.
Okay,
And it's the lift station and the pressure main. That's hooked up to the sewer line on Maple is. That's for that sprinkler system
okay,
that was there. And over on this the sod for this building is around 3 sides. I measured it and I got 3,510 square foot. So I called Wheatland Sodporn. And they gave me a price of $6,162.70. This includes delivery and installation. The sod will be the environmental turf for the type of soil that's out here and for all the sun that it will take.
At $3 a square foot.
77 cents a square foot. Yesterday morning, we were running around looking for a water break. The pump was running longer than usual. That we weren't getting any water in the tank, so me, Bart and Mike were driving around town, driving out on the lines. We come to find out that there was a line that broke inside that mushroom building over there, that big building. It's a 1-inch line, so it had to break sometime Sunday evening. Because we run our pump for 12 hours, which we usually don't. It only runs like 4 hours to fill that tank. But they got it shut off and then we started getting water again. But I don't know, they should have shut that line off before, once they left. I called Black Hills Energy on the gas meter for the generator over on the new lift station. They should be calling me this week. Hopefully, to get that installed. And once that is installed, we will have some training. Me and Mike and Bart will have to take on the generator. The contractor will provide that.
Will, no, just come down 7th Street.
Yeah, that new lift station.
Yeah, the gas line.
Yeah, that gas line.
Okay, so, and is it possible that people can tee off of it, go down the other, that 90-acre addition later on?
The gas line?
Yes, or is it just small enough? For
No,
that?
we just had one line run across
Okay,
to the lift station.
Well, I'm thinking of expansion of the town later on, about 40 acres. Is that gas line big enough to be? Well,
No, you mean the main
yeah,
supply?
to,
Well,
real
talk to
station.
the, Black Hills guy. He said it should be big enough to supply that 40.
40 acres.
That 40 acre one?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, he said that it should be big enough to supply that.
okay.
We're gonna start spraying for mosquitoes tomorrow. They're pretty active. They,
Somebody might have sent an email last night. To somebody else.
yeah. At 84 degrees, they go from larva to full blown adult in 10 days. And it's been over 84. Tomorrow, I'm gonna attend the free training on lagoons over in Hudson. This will give my hours for my wastewater
Yeah.
license. That should renew at the end of the year. So I'll be good on that. I'll have it, that's all I have. Any questions?
I was in Pine Deal the other day, and one of the laws they're talking about trying to get passed is to change to designate public work employees, you, as essential or emergency personnel. What do you think about that? So that means
You mean,
you're gonna cross his yellow tape line because say, I'm emergency personnel.
yeah, if it deals with water, the water,
Yeah, so
Sure.
water issue or something like, what do
yeah,
you support that?
yeah.
Okay, that's all. Yeah.
Cause I've been looking at trying to get my professional license. And that way, it kind of supersedes everything, even in other states
Okay,
on the water. In case of emergencies, and all that during there when water is the issue. I've been looking at that.
Yeah, without that, there was something going on, law enforcement, so you gotta be, emergency responders have passed this line. And it was brought up by Opal, but they're right next to that big gas plant. But if they were afraid if they were held back, they couldn't get in. They're the only one, if they needed to do something for the safety of the citizens, they're the only ones to know how to operate the water. Or lagoon, whatever, they're the only people that would need that. So that would give you access as an emergency responder into that. And that was the thought behind it, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be something. We could do.
that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Mike, anything you'd like to touch bases on?
No.
Bob, want to talk about Pinedale a little and anything else?
Yeah, I got a couple of items. I had a citizen ask me about how would you pay for the ambulance? We have a new hospital coming in. How would you pay for an ambulance? And our discussion turned to one, countywide real property tax. Or to have a special tax like we do on the half cent for the county roads. And the benefit of the county roads is that everybody pays it, not just the landowners.
Need a sales
A
tax.
sales tax, yeah,
Yes.
like we do with county roads. That's what this person and I talked about for about half an hour, the benefits and
The
drawbacks of each one. The special tax would probably have to be approved every 4 years or 2 years, whatever, however it's ever set up. Same with the property. Property tax would go up,
But you can't do it with by state statute.
right? But we're looking at now, you make it ambulance district by now, right?
Pardon?
I thought we could make an ambulance district.
No,
Has been approved?
No, to my knowledge.
The ambulance?
Did it?
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
the county,
Medical district, yeah,
the county can do it, but.
Yeah. But then that means each entity within the county, like towns, have to approve it as well before it's put on the ballot. That's how
Yeah, I don't know the details of it.
another tax issue. The state passed all these nice tax relief things, you know, for 65 or older, or for a veteran, and a couple other ones. There's no backfill. There's no money planned from the state to fill in those missing numbers that'll be coming in next year. That was one thing they talked about.
when 2 out of the 3 had backfill.
Yeah, okay,
I think 2 out of the 3 had backfill. Or maybe 3, the one that Governor vetoed did not have backfill,
okay,
but that is very similar to the one that's going to be up for vote in this election. Because they got enough signatures, of people wanting around, you know, getting signatures, they got enough signatures to put it on the ballot.
Good.
And that's gonna reduce property tax 50%.
for some people. For Mike, your information, I talked to Wyoming Rural Water Group. And they say they're starting an apprentice program for water
Water
operators.
Yeah,
Water operator.
they started that. Been out a while.
Okay, I didn't know about it, but they said, you know, it's a good place to get people who said, they really, you know, people who are just out of high school, they said, that doesn't work for them. They don't look far enough down the road. Somebody who dropped out of college, who's been looking for a job or something like that.
Yeah.
That's an idea. What else? Oh, what's our progress on our lights and sign for this building?
Well, I talked to Plan One 3 weeks ago, and he said he'd have it to me in a week, and I haven't heard back.
Is that for signs or lights?
Both.
Okay. Just doing follow-up, they talked about a possible bill they want to put out to the legislators to have a joint powers between a community and a private entity to build condos. This is like for Jackson, Pinedale, whatever, for work, for housing. And my question is, why can't a place like Shoshoni do it? Instead of making condos, make a duplex?
We can.
Can we have a joint powers with some non-government entity? And say, well, you will lease this land to you. You build the duplex, and we can lease land for 1 year, you know, for $1 or whatever. And then we have housing. We have, then what we can also say, because it's on our property, we can control certain things such as HOA requirements, if they had any.
So currently, it wouldn't necessarily be a joint powers board setup.
Okay.
It would be more an agreement that's struck upon the selling of the land at whatever price, and that was the metrics and the agreement that they had to fulfill as part of the contract.
This was not selling the land. This town still owns the land,
Oh, I see.
so it'd be a lease.
But in Jackson, where the postage stamp costs $10,000 a piece of land, the land is a lot bigger deal, bigger part of it than in Shoshoni, where
Right.
the land is less expensive. So so if you're looking at, you know, $1 million a lot or 500,000, what they're, you know, so then that's a big part of that.
Well, I mean, we
It
can
wouldn't be as
lease,
big a part.
we can lease land with agreements. We do with
Right.
grazing. It would be no different. It just wouldn't be a joint powers. It'd just be a
Well,
long-term
terminology.
lease or something. I
Yeah,
don't know about
long-term
Marshall
lease.
here. I don't know.
it's just a thought, another way to get housing in,
Yeah,
That would-
actually,
lease property,
like a long-term lease type thing.
right?
It seems if you were gonna build a $300,000 anything, even if you sold the ground for 5,000 a lot.
Yeah,
To take away the responsibility of the town of, oh, the line broke, you need to come and don't damage my landscape.
Okay.
I think one of the reason behind this that the Jackson was talking about was maintain some type of control of the usage of the land, so it's not getting built, say, for workforce housing, and they,
A 6-story condo.
yeah, and sell it for a lot more, bring in, it's, make sure the land is getting used for what it was designed, or, you know, the initial sale or the gift was, if you keep some sort of local control that can keep the land for workforce housing with you know, that was where the land cost so much in Jackson, that's definitely a big issue.
That's all I have.
But good, we're trying to do some of that. Mr. Stetler, Captain Stetler. Councilwoman Hart. Have anything? No. Guess I got a couple things, a heads up on our working towards our right of ways and everything to get our well house. I'm in our, not our wells, but our water tank repaired and road bill. I met with the engineer Monday. We went over everything. We've been in contact with BLM and BIA over that. I went over this afternoon and spent some time with BIA over that. Conversations are going on pretty good. They've been very helpful. May have a meeting next week with them. Anyway, that's what we're gonna meet with both the Eastern Shoshone and Northern Arapaho tribes and work things out, but that's sort of what we're doing. Pinedale went well. I thought that was pretty good meeting. They had a motivational speaker there that I thought was just, she's retired Navy. I thought she was just real fabulous, talked about a lot of good things, a lot of interactions and trying to figure out ways. And we're discussing, I think Bob was all talking, trying to figure out how to do this water meters and several other funding opportunities and things going on. But there's one thing Chris keeps having to remind me, make sure, well, there's only so much we can do, because it's a lot of work, not only writing these grants, but managing these grants. So we have a limit, you know, upper limit of what we can do, but anyway, we're looking at, you know, we only have so much staff to do this, and it's and capacity financially and staff, both of what we can move forward. So sometimes you gotta say no. Anyway, that's what we're kind of just sort of reminding myself of that, but that's one of the things we're tasked with. Seemed like there was something else I wanted to bring up, but oh, this weekend, what do we got going on this weekend in Shoshone?
Oh, the 3-on-3.
That's what I thought. So, you know, that's been a huge success in Fremont County, near 2,000 people last year. Probably that or sort of range. It's very, very, very popular. I didn't know that 3-on-3 basketball is an Olympic sport now. Did you?
At this point, I'm not sure what is an Olympic sport.
Yeah, I know, but anyway, yeah, but
Yeah.
I seen that on the news, listened to it on the news, yeah. It was 3-on-3. I think it was women, men do it also, but they were talking about, I never knew that, but yeah, that's really a great thing they're putting on the tractor pull and show. I thought was real well.
They had a lot of people there.
A lot of people there. The tractor drive went smooth. I didn't see any last year. I seen a couple near misses, but I went, everything I thought really went smooth. It was good. A lot of good people showed up. I thought it was a good event. You know, we have here Shoshone, we need to do more of that. I can't think of anything else. That Bob covered a lot of things, what we did at Wham, but that's Pinedale for a small town pulled it off pretty well. The only complaints were the lunches. And they had a really good supper. I didn't like their lunches, but other than that, they were small, a smaller town, big town for Wyoming. They're about 2,000 people. But pulled that off. That was great. Mayor Murdoch did good. Would you like to add anything, Kim, about what went on? Okay.
Was good, a lot of good speakers.
But if we seem like I'm missing something, but it isn't coming to me, so I will entertain a motion to adjourn if nobody has anything else. Anybody in the audience like to bring something up? Nobody online? How's your chance? Okay, very good. So I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Councilwoman Harkey moved and the second.
Second.
Okay, I was gonna say we just stay here if you didn't. And second by Councilman Stetler.
Get out of the picnic.
Yeah, any further discussion? Would you please step up and I'm joking. No more discussion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Pose the same. Motion passed on the affirmative, approximately 8:27.
Yep.
Thank you for everybody coming. I appreciate it. And pretty sure